It all started when I spawned into the game and immediately got hit by a bus before I could even touch the steering wheel. I didn't even get to say hello to my car. The game just yeeted me into another dimension, so naturally I respawned and pretended nothing happened. My car was this suspiciously shiny sports coupe that looked like it had been washed in holy water and waxed by angels but drove like it had a death wish. I pressed the accelerator and instantly regretted it because my car went from 0 to goodbye suspension in 3 seconds. I'm swerving through traffic like I'm in a Bollywood action scene while my GPS is screaming in a robotic voice, turn left, as I launch myself off a bridge into what I thought was a road but was actually a swimming pool in some NPC's backyard. The NPC is just standing there holding a hot dog watching me like I'm a free TV show. I reverse out, somehow still driving, but now my car is making noises like a microwave fighting a blender. I pull onto the main road and for some reason there's a cow in the middle of the lane. This isn't even a farming game, but the cow just stares at me like it owns the road. So naturally I honk. The cow doesn't move. Instead it sits down. Traffic piles up behind me and suddenly the game AI spawns a police car because apparently cow harassment is illegal here. The cop gets out, slips on a banana peel that wasn't there before, and yells, "You're under arrest for reckless moo endangerment," while I'm just trying to figure out why my rear view mirror is showing a horse. I hit the gas again. My car's trunk pops open mid-chase and a random traffic cone flies out, hitting a cyclist who then starts chasing me faster than the police. I take a hard right into an alley. The walls are so narrow my side mirrors are now permanently part of the brickwork. Somehow I escape onto the highway, but the speed limit here is 40, so naturally I'm going 140. There's a toll booth ahead. I don't slow down, instead I try to jump it. And the game actually lets me. My car sails majestically through the air and lands on top of a moving ice cream truck. The driver doesn't even stop. He just hands me an ice cream cone through the sunroof and says, "Drive safe." I drop the cone immediately because my steering is now completely possessed. My minimap is blinking red and the game spawns a tornado for no reason. The tornado picks up 3 cars, a dumpster, and what I'm pretty sure is my dignity. I somehow avoid it and decide to drive into the countryside, thinking it will be peaceful. Wrong. The countryside has deer that run at 200 km/h for no reason. One of them overtakes me, stares into my soul, and disappears into the forest like some mythical creature. I drive further and suddenly the road ends. Just ends. Like the developers forgot to finish it. So my car just flies into a loading screen. When it reloads I'm in the middle of a city I've never seen before. People are walking upside down. There's a car floating 5 meters in the air honking aggressively. I decide to join the chaos and drive backwards for fun. Turns out I accidentally joined a reverse race. So now I'm in second place without trying. I take a shortcut through a grocery store, knocking over an entire shelf of watermelons that somehow explode like grenades. One watermelon rolls into the street causing a chain reaction of 5 cars spinning out. One of them catches fire, but instead of an explosion it just plays circus music. I keep driving, my car now smoking like it's trying to start a barbecue in the engine bay, and I find a ramp. Obviously I take it, because in video games ramps are the meaning of life. I go flying over a park, land perfectly in a skate bowl, and get bonus points for style, except my tires explode instantly, so now I'm driving on rims, sparks flying everywhere like I'm making fireworks for the 4th of July. The cops are back, this time in monster trucks for some reason. I dodge them by hiding in a car wash, but the car wash has malfunctioned so it just sprays foam forever. I sit there for 5 minutes until the game glitches and my car is now pure white like a marshmallow. I drive out and people start throwing sticks at me thinking I'm a moving art installation. I try to escape but hit a speed bump so hard my car does a backflip, lands in a taxi depot, and the game immediately signs me up as a taxi driver without my consent. My first passenger is an old man carrying a giant inflatable flamingo. He tells me to take him to the place with the good fish but gives no directions, so I just start driving in circles. Every time I turn, the flamingo's head slaps me in the face. The old man doesn't notice. Eventually we end up at a pier. He gets out, pays me in coupons for a bowling alley, and walks straight into the ocean. I leave before I have to explain anything to anyone. Then the weather changes instantly to snow. The roads turn into an ice rink. I drift unintentionally into a wedding procession. The bride catches the bouquet mid-spin. The groom looks impressed, and the game gives me romantic driver points. I continue sliding down the road until I hit a snowbank and launch into what I think is a racetrack, except it's actually an airport runway. A plane is taking off and I somehow end up racing it. I lose obviously, but the game gives me an achievement called Nice Try Speedy Gonzalez. Now my fuel is almost gone, so I head to a gas station. But the pump explodes when I touch it, launching my car into a billboard advertising safe driving lessons. I fall off the billboard onto a moving train, ride it for a while like some kind of action hero, then drive off the back straight onto a highway full of clowns driving bumper cars at full speed. I weave through them until one bumps me so hard my car spins like a Beyblade and lands perfectly parked in front of a donut shop. I decide this is a good place to stop, but the second I get out, my car explodes for no reason, respawning me back at the start, ready to do it all over again, because in this game chaos isn't a bug. It's the whole point, and somehow I love it. It all began the moment I spawned into the game and immediately realized something was wrong, because instead of standing next to my car, I was somehow sitting on top of a moving bus holding a pizza box. The bus driver didn't seem to care. He just kept driving like this was part of his morning routine. I decided to jump off and aim for my car. Except I missed and landed on a fruit cart which exploded into 200 watermelons rolling down the street. Traffic came to a complete stop because apparently watermelons in this game are like oil slicks. Cars were spinning, people were screaming, and one guy slipped and somehow flew straight into a hot dog stand. I finally spotted my car, a suspiciously shiny sports coupe that looked like it belonged in a showroom. Except it was parked halfway up a flight of stairs for some reason. I got in, started the engine, and immediately realized the steering wheel was way too sensitive. I barely touched it and my car swerved like it was trying to avoid imaginary ghosts. I pressed the gas and the car went from zero to hold onto your soul in 2 seconds, flying down the street while my GPS kept yelling turn left, but the road on the left was blocked by a parade of dancing penguins. Yes, penguins, wearing sunglasses and moonwalking in perfect sync. I tried to avoid them by taking a right turn but ended up crashing through the window of a clothing store. Mannequins went flying, one got stuck to my hood like a hood ornament, and now every pedestrian I passed looked at me like I'd just committed a fashion crime. I tried to reverse out but accidentally pressed the nitrous button instead, sending my car flying backwards into a dumpster. The lid of the dumpster popped open and a raccoon jumped into my passenger seat, wearing a tiny helmet like it was ready for a race. The game didn't explain this, it just accepted that I now had a raccoon co-pilot. I decided to roll with it, so I pulled back onto the street. The raccoon started pointing its little paw at random turns like my new navigator. Unfortunately, one of those turns led straight into a skate park. My car flew off a ramp, did a 360 spin in the air, and landed perfectly between two skateboarders who didn't even stop skating. The raccoon seemed impressed. I was feeling proud until I noticed my car was now stuck in permanent drift mode. I could only slide sideways no matter what I did, which made the next part even worse because a police siren started blaring behind me. Apparently drifting into a fountain is considered a crime here. The cops pulled up in tiny clown cars for some reason, 3 of them, honking aggressively. I tried to lose them by driving through a car wash, but the car wash malfunctioned and started shooting whipped cream instead of soap. By the time I came out the other side my car looked like a giant dessert. A kid on the sidewalk yelled ice cream and threw sprinkles at me. The cops were still chasing, so I decided to hit the highway. Bad idea. The highway was under construction and half the lanes were missing. My car jumped 1 gap, 2 gaps, then landed inside the back of a moving truck carrying chickens. The back door slammed shut. Now I was just in darkness with clucking all around me. I finally found the door handle, flung it open, and somehow drove straight out of the truck into the middle of a wedding ceremony. The bride screamed, the groom cheered, someone threw rice at my car, and the game gave me romantic driver points. I floored it out of there, only to find myself in a part of the city I'd never seen before. Buildings upside down, cars floating in mid-air, and NPCs walking backward at high speed. I thought the game had glitched, but then a huge banner appeared saying "Welcome to Extreme Mode." Before I could process that, the ground beneath my car tilted like a seesaw and I slid straight into an open sewer pipe. Suddenly I was underground, driving through a tunnel filled with neon lights. The raccoon in my passenger seat was now wearing sunglasses and nodding to the beat of the music. I sped through, dodging barrels, rats on skateboards, and the occasional pizza delivery robot. The tunnel shot me out of a giant pipe like a water slide, landing me in the middle of a monster truck rally. The announcer yelled, "Our surprise contestant has arrived." And now I was apparently in a race I didn't sign up for. Monster trucks twice my size were crushing cars like soda cans. I somehow managed to avoid